Welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Open Ultra League. The team we're running today is kind of a switch up. We got the Shadow Dragonite with the Registeel core, and then we're just trying to make Shadow Staraptor work. Here we have the Galvantula here. It looks like they win the CAP tie. So we're going to have to shield that first one there, and then they are also going to shield. So we're just applying tremendous fast move pressure here. They actually get to another move here. But this thing is so low, we're going to decide to let it go here. They actually go for the lunge bait, which allows us to get to this Dragon Claw here for the KO. So good decision by us right there. They have the Pidgeot that comes down and farms us down. But luckily we have our counter to that with our Registeel. So we're expecting to have a... okay, Feather Dance move right there is interesting because I would have thought they wanted to bait. Or sorry, they wanted to Brave Bird and dip. But looks like they just decided to go for the Feather Dance to debuff us here. And here we're actually deciding to stay in because we want this Umbreon low enough so that we could potentially farm down with our Staraptor. We know that we can throw these Focus Blasts. Unfortunately, we're going to have to get to at least 3 Focus Blasts here. So we're going to try to get to another one here. It looks like they are going to throw the move right before we get to the Focus Blast. We should be able to survive this foul play. And then we're going to throw this Focus Blast here to make them make a decision. Are they going to let it go or are they going to shield? They decided to shield, so shields are down, which is a positive for us. They actually decided to throw the foul play here. And then we're going to switch into our Staraptor here. We're going to try and survive this foul play because we want to throw the move, the energy that we have here at the Pidgeot. We go for a fly here. The fly is a little bit better for us here because it doesn't debuff us and it does a good amount of damage. Here we're going to decide to shield and we're going to decide to farm down here even though we're debuffed. Unfortunately, we get farmed down, but fortunately for us, we have residual energy on our Registeel. We were able to get this Focus Blast here to KO that Umbreon in the back right there. So GG's. The Staraptor cutting it pretty close for us and able to I guess kind of, it was being a good closer, but I would have expected to do more damage than that, to be honest. So next move here, we have the Registeel. This Registeel does present a problem for our Staraptor. So we're going to go ahead and try to get a shield out of them. Luckily, we do get a shield. And then we're going to decide to shield here. And then we're going to switch out if we get the debuff. So looks like that's exactly what happened. Because if we didn't get debuffed there, we would have potentially continued staying in. We do switch out into the Registeel. We get to the Zap Cannon first. We do get the debuff, so we don't have to show this next one here. Unfortunately for us, that Skull debuffs our attack, so both of us are debuffed. But we did debuff them first. We are able to get to another Zap Cannon. This Zap Cannon does not KO at this range. And then here we're going to force them to use some energy. Let's see if they go for Icy Wind or maybe the Ice move. No, they go for the Skull for the KO. All right, and then now we have a decision to make. We're going to farm down with Dragonite or the Staraptor. We're going to go in with our Dragonite because we believe they have a move. They do have that Icy Wind, but once again, it is debuffed, so it doesn't KO. And then we're going to immediately switch out, farm down with the Staraptor. Staraptor looking very solid here. We're going to try to throw this Close Combat right before they get to their move so that we don't have to invest the shield. Close Combat, does not KO. But this is going to be an easy shield for us. And then we're going to try to farm down. We actually get debuffed. So not only do we get attack debuff, but we get our defense debuff from our close combat. We're going to try to go for this fly. This fly does not KO, but since they have a slow Incinerate going through, we are going to be able to get to another move here for the KO. Immediately switch out into our Dragonite. Shadow Dragonite does come back in, and we're going to be able to get to this Dragon Claw to take out their Registeel. So GG's to our opponent right there. Woo! That was a roller coaster of events right there. The Dragonite and Staraptor just flip-flopping in and out, able to take advantage of just a little bit of energy advantage every single opportunity. Here we have the Tapu Fini. We were hoping that we were trying to catch a Moonblast. Unfortunately, Moonblast does not get thrown. They were aware of our situation. We're going to go for the Zap Cannon here. We do get the debuff, so at least we know that we can survive this next move, even if it's an Earthquake. Earthquake does come through, but because it's debuff, we easily survive it. We're going to go for another Zap Cannon here. This Zap Cannon potentially get another debuff. We do get the double debuff here, forcing them to use Earthquake. I don't think a Night Slash, if they're running that, would KO, so we do force them to use some Earthquake energy. We are able to farm down with our Dragonite. We're going to go for this superpower here. We do get a shield from our opponent, okay? But our opponent ends up throwing the move. We do allow the Moonblast to go through because that was going to be a bad situation for us anyways. So we have 2 shields with the Staraptor. Let's see if we can win this matchup here. We're going to go for the close combat. They do shield. Here, we're going to have to shield and hope for no debuff. They go for the Zap Cannon correctly, and we get the debuff right there. So that is bad for us right there. We're going to throw this close combat here right before they get to a move. This close combat does not KO. We have no choice but to shield this as well because we are going to try to farm down. Or not farm down, excuse me. We're trying to farm to get to 2 moves. We're going to go for this fly. Does not quite take it out. And we're going to try to get to 2. And unfortunately, this Tapu Fini does get to a surf to take us out right there. So tough line right there to beat. Maybe if we had thrown the fly versus the Registeel initially, it would have been a little bit better, but still would have been tough. Okay, here we have the Shadow Dragonite versus the Giratina. We're applying a ton of fast move pressure here. We're going to decide to let the Dragon Claw go through, and we're going to go for our own Dragon Claw. Let's see if they end up shielding. They do shield, which is great, and then we're going to try to get to another Dragon Claw right here. They actually throw a move, so we're going to allow this to go through. This is a chance for us to load up on a ton of energy on our Registeel and potentially get another shield in the back. So they do have the Shadow Sneak version, and we're going to see if we can take this Giratina out with the Focus Blast. Oh, not quite enough, and we do have to tank another Shadow Sneak right there. So we do get the farm down at least. Our opponent ends up having the Cobalion, okay, and then they switch into the Talonflame. This Talonflame here, we're going to throw a move right before they get to their, right before they fire off their move. We know that we can shield here no matter what. They end up going for the Flame Charge, which makes sense so that their fast moves get increased. And as you can see here, we only have an opportunity to throw this close combat or 1 move, so we throw the close combat. Doesn't KO, unfortunately for us, but we're going to have to shield here, and I think we're going to have to try to farm down because we're not going to be able to get to 2 Focus Blasts at this range, I don't think. So we're going to go for the farm down at this point. Let's see if we're going to be able to survive. We do survive 1 more. Oh, and we're barely unable to win that matchup right there. So a couple things right there. If we had actually taken out that Giratina with our charge move, so maybe the Zap Cannon would have taken it out, but the fact that Giratina was able to survive actually made the difference. So on to the next one, we're going to be matched up with the Pidgeot here. We're going to throw this Dragon Claw right before they get to a potential Brave Bird. Now they have Brave Bird energy, so we're going to shield here. We do shield it correctly. They switch into their Golisopod here. Golisopod, depending on what moveset they're running, pretty good safe switch here. We're going to have to tank a Liquidation. Looks like the Liquidation does go through, but no debuff. We get the Zap Cannon off. We do get a shield. We get the debuff, so that's a huge swing events right there. We know that they're trying to throw on CAP, so we're going to allow them to throw this move. Looks like they go for another Liquidation, but it was debuff. Looks like we don't get the debuff on that turn right there. We throw another Zap Cannon. We get the double debuff on their Golisopod, so we have completely flipped this matchup here. We've gotten 2 shields out of them. We still are left with a shield. This Liquidation also doesn't get debuff, and it does even less damage than the previous. Our third Zap Cannon goes through to take them out, and then we're going to switch immediately into our Dragonite. We are met with a Lantern. So this Lantern here is going to be able to do some neutral sparks, and luckily we have a shield so that we're going to be able to shield this, and then we're going to be able to get to another Dragon Claw to potentially take out the Lantern. Even though the Surf would have been resisted, this Dragonite does not have enough health to take it. So we are able to take it out. We're going to look for the farm down there, and we have the GG's. So check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed it.